Welcome guys to podcast 7 with Dan and
Nick.
And we're going to be covering our brain gains this week, which is going to be covering some foam rolling, which should be good. Yeah,
I like a bit of foam rolling.
Yeah, me too. Really good. Looking forward to getting some more information about that. And also we'll be looking at that group of muscles that helps with that stability of the shoulder, the rotator cuff, and trying to dispel some myths on that one. Okay guys? We'll also be looking at Dan versus Nick, which will be
A plank off.
Yeah, plank off, man.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. Should be good. So guys, welcome to Brain Gains, where we'll be hopefully. That's a different version of the word hopefully. What we're going to be doing is hopefully learning something about the rotator cuff today. Okay? Now the rotator cuff is an area that I think a lot of people are not too sure about, because they tend to sometimes get the information a bit misconstrued, and what I want to do is just get that nice and clear. So first of all, I want to explain what it is. Now the rotator cuff isn't one individual muscle, okay? The rotator cuff is actually a group of 4 separate muscles that work in sync, that help to, stabilize the shoulder and help with certain movements of the shoulder, okay? Now, to remember the groups of muscles, you can use the acronym SITS, which is basically S for supraspinatus, I for infraspinatus, T for teres minor, and S for subscapularis. Okay. Now, if you take into consideration supra meaning above and infra meaning below, if you think of the spine of the scapula, supraspinatus is just above that. Okay. And if you think of the spine of the scapula, infra is just below that part there. Okay. And then you've got your teres minor. Okay, that externally rotates the shoulder, okay? And you've got your subscapularis as well, which sub meaning just below, but just below the scapula, okay? And that helps with that medial rotation, okay? So if I just give you an example of that medial rotation, okay? Sometimes see people doing that in the gym, this one, yeah? Okay, all right, and that's that medial rotation, you like that?
I like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
So guys, yeah, so what it does basically, guys, is helps with movement of the shoulder and stability of the shoulder. Now, this is probably one of the areas that's most frequently injured, okay? Because obviously the shoulder sacrifices movement for stability, because it has to be able to move in many different directions. And you've got people that do a lot of benching and maybe throwing as well. So somebody, say a javelin throw, or somebody who plays a lot of sports where they have to throw the ball around a lot, they can suffer from these rotator cuff injuries. Now my advice, guys, is to not do what I see some people doing in the gym, is trying to lift real heavy weights and doing these medial rotation exercises, okay? Because I think what they're sort of getting confused about is they're thinking that if I lift heavy, I'm going to help to strengthen my rotator cuff, and by strengthening my rotator cuff, I'm going to therefore be less prone to getting any injuries. Now, don't get me wrong, I feel that there's a lot of room for these kind of exercises in a training program, but what I would more use them for is in a warm-up capacity, okay? What I mean by that is that before moving on to maybe doing, say, your benching, I would adopt a reasonably light weight, okay? Maybe a 3 kilogram, 4 kilogram dumbbell, and perform these medial rotation exercises, okay? So the traditional ones, again, as I said, would be these ones here, okay? And also bringing it up there like that, okay? Those exercises can be performed before doing any kind of training like benching and things like that, that could potentially give you that shoulder impingement, okay? Making sure those areas and those muscles are nice and warm is going to hopefully prevent those injuries. Now what I mean by shoulder impingement, guys, is that in particular the supraspinatus, okay, can be impinged. The tendon of that can be impinged when you bring, shoulder flexion all the way up. Now, I used to do a lot of like plate raises and and front dumbbell raises, but now I'm actually stopping doing those. Okay, I'm not going any further, I'm not going any higher than this, okay, because I've heard that by doing that, that's going to actually impinge these muscles and can lead to injury. So I'm trying to avoid those now, and hopefully you guys will do the same, and that can hopefully leave you at less risk of rotator cuff injuries. So main things to remember, guys, is that the rotator cuff is 4 separate muscles, okay? You can remember that by sits, you know, your supraspinatus, infraspinatus, your teres minor, and your subscapularis. It's a group of muscles that are there to help stabilize the shoulder, rather than trying to really push heavy weights to strengthen those. Okay, I would advise you to use it in a warm-up capacity, okay, or potentially rehab, because these warm-up exercises are going to be a lot better. You know, prevention is better than cure, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, so I would always advise you to do these warm-up exercises before doing some benching or maybe any kind of activity where you're going to, you know, be doing some throwing or stuff like that. And try and avoid those motions where you know the shoulder flexion is going all the way up. Okay, try and stop it about here to avoid that shoulder impingement, which could lead to that rotator cuff injuries. Yeah, anything you want to add to that, Nicholas?
No, I think that hits a lot of the points. I generally find for myself, I've got damaged rotator cuff, especially my right shoulder. I dislocated my shoulder about 5 years ago.
Right.
And I find now that I always need to warm up, and exactly like the ones that you say, I generally find that I use a cable, get it to about mid-level, and I might find I just do about eight reps, and I just do a little circuit of coming into the body. So I'm pulling the cable in, I turn around, I then come up, I turn around again, I then go out, and I use that as my kind of little rotation round. Do that a couple of times just to really, like you say, warm those muscles up, ready for any kind of training that you're about to do. I do find as well, if you spot anyone within the gym doing rotator cuff injuries, I'd almost put money on they've injured it.
It's never they never do it before.
No,
it's always an
afterthought. It's always an afterthought. So it's so key to try and get these rotator cuff exercises in before he gets to that injury point.
100%.
Yeah. So really good ones in that. Cool
beans.
Next, we're going to be looking at our foam rolling.
Cool, I'm looking forward to that.
We like a bit of foam rolling.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is head to the studio.
Yeah, let's do this.
And we'll meet you guys in there. Okay, so what we're going to be looking at today is foam rolling. We're only going to concentrate today on the lower part of the body, okay, so the legs. The idea of they're my legs. The idea really of foam rolling is this myofascial release. And basically what it is, it's like a self-medicated massage really. So where the muscles get nice and tight, we're going to roll them out, apply pressure, get that breakdown of that muscle and loads of blood flow through so it can help with that recovery and basically straighten out those muscles again. So with our foam roller, ideally we want to make sure they're nice and firm. You do get ones that are a little bit softer, but it just means it's harder to apply the pressure if they're a bit softer. We're going to put that down and we're going to start off with our glutes, our backside. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down on that, and then from here I'm just going to roll myself forward and back all the way up and down that muscle. Now the idea from this is when I get to a point that feels like a knot or it's tight, I'm going to apply pressure and hold it there. Okay, hold it there, give him that pressure, and I'm going to hold it for about 30 seconds. Once I've had that 30 seconds, I'll go back to rolling. Yeah. If I need to go back to that point again, if I still feel like there's a knot or it's tight, hold it again. Okay, hold it there again. 30 seconds and then relax off. Yeah. It's a really good one for those glutes. From there, rocking down, I'm going to go to my hamstrings. So my back to my legs. Okay, back to my legs here. Now, again, same thing. I can either hold myself up and roll myself down forward. If I wanted to apply a bit more pressure, I'll take one foot off and I can go there. So I can go single leg, one leg at a time. And if I wanted a bit more weight down on this, I could either ask my buddy down here to push down on my leg, and that might give that little bit of extra pressure. Or I can take my other leg, take it over the top, and again, roll it down. As I roll it down, I feel that point where I get that pain, I get that almost not feeling, and I hold it there. Apply that pressure, hold it there, 30 seconds, then I relax that off. Yeah, relax it off and roll again. And ideally you want to go all the way up and all the way down those hamstrings. Once I've done those, we're going on to the bad boys of the calf. These ones here are like the killers for me. Yeah, so expect some funny noises, expect some funny faces. As I rock this over, I'm going to take the style off with the foam roller by my ankle, and from there I'm going to lift myself up and roll myself down. That's the bit there. That's where it gets me. Find that knot and I apply that pressure and I just hold it there. Same as with the hamstrings, if I want to apply more pressure, I can then just take one foot over the top and double up with that pressure coming down. Okay, hold it there, 30 seconds, and then just relax it and roll it all the way through. If I find that pressure still there, I go again. With this one, really good if I then start turning my foot in, and then I roll, I get the inside of that calf, take my foot out, I roll, and I get the outside of that calf as well. Okay, so a couple of really good ones there that will help work that lower part of the body. Yeah, great one to do either warm up or cool down before or after you start your sets, especially if you've got some big, heavy, compound type lifts that you're going to be doing, working those legs. Yeah. Hopefully in a few weeks we might go through some more and we might more towards the upper part of the body for you. Cool. Okay, so coming up next we have Dan versus Nick. The plank off.
You said that kind of strange then. Dan versus Nick. But I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do this.
Snap. Buy me a Coke.
Dan versus Nick. The challenge.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Dan versus Nick, plank off. Ready?
I think so.
Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. Boring, isn't it? This isn't the best viewing.
Is it bad? Is it bad that I want to quit right now?
You quit if you want to quit. Yes!
Right, thanks for watching, guys. That was podcast number 7.
7.
Yeah, number 7. So, really enjoyed doing that one, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it too. As usual, please like and share the Camden Academy page and pop any feedback or comments below. We want to hear back from you. Also, we will pop out emails at the bottom of the page, so send us any questions that you want answering too, please. Stay tuned to the Academy page because we are going to be releasing another podcast which will have our What's Up segment on it, where we'll be covering.
You like that?
Yeah, we do.
You like that
we
one?
do. Really cool. We're going to be talking about different supplements each week and what we think about them and our ideas as well.
What are we going to be talking about this week, Dan?
We're going to be talking about creatine.
Ooh,
yeah, that's
right. Big popular one.
That is a big popular one, isn't it?
Yeah.
People like the creatine.
Yeah, they do.
And also we're going to be talking about spirulina.
Oh,
Give them a sneak preview.
yeah, go on then. Here's a little dose of spirulina.
This stuff. Not so but potentially very good for you.
Hulk juice.
Hulk juice. Yeah, good old Hulk juice.
Leave it at that.
Yeah, so stay tuned for more info about Hulk juice and creatine on our What's Up section, and also highlights of the week from our current fast track courses and also our blended courses.
Yes.
Enjoy, guys. Thanks for watching.